welcome everyone. Farmer Cop here. We have an exclusive preview, an exclusive look at Farming Simulator 25. We're going to show you quite a few different things. We may be showing off some stuff you didn't know, maybe some stuff you already did know, maybe a different look at it. Just know that I'm going to try to give you as much information as possible. However, I don't have all the information, nor can Giant Software give us all the information yet, which makes total sense. So if your question wasn't answered, it's probably going to be answered in the future. And I do have Kermit here with Giant Software that is going to help me answer some questions. How are you doing today, Kermit?
Oh, I'm great, man, and I'm excited that I get to show this to you guys. We're at PAX West, and we're getting to show Farming Simulator 25 gameplay for the first time to people in North America.
Yes.
And you and DJ are two of the first content creators to be able to record it as well. So, yeah, let's get started. Some of these things, like you said, like I'm going to be feeling like I'm repeating what we've been saying a lot over the last couple of months since we announced the game and the stuff you've seen. So first with this Vulture, of course, we're wanting to show off some of our new visual effects. So the volumetric fog we've been talking about, people are like, what are these words? Volumetric fog, dynamic shadows.
Right.
You can kind of see some of that as you drive along in the Vulture S286 here, and this little beautiful river on this path. So yeah, volumetric fog, dynamic shadows, reflections in the water. It's kind of what we're wanting to show off here. But where are you going with this thing?
There's somewhere that I want to show you that I think that I know where something might be that I may have found on the demo. But anyhow, yes, there's a lot of really cool new visual things with the game and everything like that. I just wanted to show you guys this nice road up here and how nice it looks. And there may be something else I want to show you up here that's over just kind of off this way. But I wouldn't worry about it, Kermit. But anyhow, yes. So there's
I'm scared.
You should be a little scared. No, I'm fine. It's fine. And you can actually, one thing I want to note, and we'll see a little bit more about this later, like the tractor can go faster than this, and I'm full acceleration. It's slowing me down driving through the field. You can't really see all the ground deformation down there, but it takes me time to get through the field. And then if I go back on the road, you can see now I'm actually accelerating. I haven't changed what I'm doing on the keyboard and mouse here. Everything's the same. But yeah, you can see as soon as I drive into like this field, it slows me down trying to keep going. Now given we're a little uphill here, but still. But yeah, there's a really cool field here. I know that you can't say anything, but this is green beans. This is a green bean field up here, which is very interesting to me. I just found it interesting. But anyhow, we don't know anything else about that. It just is there. Again, this is a preview version. It may not be in the final game. Blah, blah, all the disclaimers. But if we move on here.
Yeah, thank you for moving on. This is the Fendt 512 Vario. And we just kind of wanted to show off the greenhouse here. Just a reminder that part of the process of rice, one of the types of rice that you can plant, you actually will be able to grow in these greenhouses. You can plant the saplings. You need to put water in, and then you'll get the saplings output in a pallet here that then you can load into your rice planter. So cool little feature that we wanted to show everyone.
I like that. And for those of you guys that are going to ask in the comments, I know you are, the production menu itself is locked on the demo version, so we don't have that to show off because I'm sure some of you are going to ask about that. But yeah, so cool. We see the Fendt over here. We see the rice greenhouse. And then this guy right here, one of the new pieces of equipment. You can see as well as I walk through the water is going to interact with me, which is pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
But let's hop in this guy.
Let's show, like, it's really cool how it interacts with the wheels of this machine too. If you can kind of just drive around a little bit. So this is the Iseki PRJ8D rice planter. So if you want to, go ahead and plant a little bit of rice.
Yeah, let's do that.
Then if you do 2 rows, we can actually show like the loading of the planter if you want. Otherwise, we can skip on to something else. Totally up to you.
I think we've seen the load of the planter before, so I'm not too worried about it. But you can see you can do your thing, and all of it looks nice. It works nice, and you can see that even on. It's kind of hard to see with the lighting there. Let me go around here. You can see that it is actually just pulling those guys out of there on the bottom, and then it'll shift them down as you're going. So the animations on it is really nice and really clean, quite honestly. So I like how that looks and how that works. And going through the water is, you can definitely see that we're in the water for sure. I know some people made the complaint that it looks like you're floating on water, but if you actually look and pay attention, you're definitely not floating on the water. So it looks really nice. But yeah, let's hop over. We got this guy over here. What can you tell me about this, Kermit?
Well, this is the Iseki HJ6130, and this is the rice harvester. But yeah, you've seen some of this harvester already in action and the stuff we've been showing. So I don't think we really need to show it in action too much. But
yeah,
You kind of see it from what you've done already. And
yep.
Yeah, so this is just one. If you want to go ahead and skip to the next one, you'll see the John Deere S7 900.
And one thing I will note too, that when you have these fields, some of the like rice paddies and stuff like that, the floodable fields, it can be a little bit tricky to get in, a little bit clunky there, but that's what you would expect from this style of field. So that's how that is. But there we go.
Right.
And the feature, because I know some people ask about it, the little field flooding feature over here, it does not work in the demo version. I have tried it, so don't get too excited about that. But here we are. We have a John Deere harvester, good to go to harvest some long grain rice.
And yeah, we wanted to show off the GPS feature here too. So this is long grain rice, which was only recently introduced. I think this is kind of the first time you've seen gameplay of these from the Gamescom build over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But if you want to go ahead and tap H here.
So if I tap H, it's going to lock onto it. Now I'm not hitting anything else right now, so if I turn, it's automatically going to go off of it, just like if you ever played with the GPS mod. But if I tap H and then I just hit, well, W on keyboard to go forward here, it's locked onto that GPS route, and it's going to keep me in line here. And let's say for whatever reason, I decided, you know what, I would like to do a turn here, and I would like to go back up this way. You can see as soon as it highlights that one yellow, if I go even back a little bit further, I can hit H and lock onto it. And then if I just hit cruise control now, it's just going to pick up that row and start going. And now if you look in the upper left-hand corner as well, one thing I want to note, I'm going to stop doing this, we're going to deactivate that. It does say right below the activate lane in the upper left-hand corner, it says mode is steering assist, that's the GPS. If I hold H, it switches over to the AI worker function, which is locked for the demo, so we don't get to take a look at that, but that's how you would switch between the two to decide how you're going to do it. It's all going to work off of the H key. It's very simplified, it's very nice, very easy to use, so I think it's really cool. But yeah, we have this, and then we have over here, we could put some rice in the new J&M, J&M grain cart over here if we wanted to.
Yeah, so this John Deere 9R549 plus this new auger wagon, that's the J&M, isn't it?
That is, yes.
Yep. So of course this is a new brand coming in Farming Simulator 25. You already saw it in the cinematic trailer. People already have picked up on that, so you can kind of see that. And then the John Deere as well. I have a note to see something about like the exterior mirrors on. I assume they mean this John Deere here.
Oh yeah. So I'm assuming they're talking about the side mirrors.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like let's.
Oh.
Yep. There you go. Now you can see it. Look at that.
Yeah. You can see it. They're working with what's behind me. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, like, I'm really excited, like, you know, because I used to play on PC exclusively for this game. I've kind of gone the opposite route that most people do, and now I'm doing it on console. I'm so excited for GPS on console because I'll be able to use cab view like confidently much more now and not be missing stuff. And I really quite enjoyed like getting immersed in that atmosphere.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really cool. And this grain cart holds a ton too. It's just over 50% full with 22,000 liters in it, so probably 40,000 liter capacity on this bad boy. Yeah, okay.
All right, let's move on now. We'll show you the Oxbow MKB4TR. This is the new spinach harvester. Spinach, another new crop coming to Farm Sim 25.
And it's currently in the AI worker mode now, but if I hold H down, it's going to take me over to GPS, which it automatically just knows for the field and the equipment you're using, and I can just do that. And I can start driving and using GPS if I'd like to for any different piece of equipment, which is really nice.
Yeah, and just a reminder that like the GPS and the AI worker will work off of the same system. The difference really is that right now you're doing semi-automated, you still have to give it the throttle. The GPS is helping with the steering assist, but if you go AI helper, it's going to be fully automated, and you'll be having the AI worker take over so you can go around and do something else on the farm.
That makes sense. Okay, and then we can unload this if we'd like to.
Yeah, this is the Fendt 728 Vario and the Brantner TR34090 trailer.
Close enough. I got there.
You're close enough for that video game magic.
Yeah, you know? for the that's about as close as I get normally right there. So that's still rocking and rolling there. I think as So one thing I kind of noticed, and I don't know if this is anything just to do with the demo or not, but it's unloading, so it's still on right now, because it has to be on to unload. But I believe the way that the game is set up right now is automatic engine start, because that turns on, and if I hop out, this is off. So I don't know if it'll keep doing that and then turn off once it's unloaded, which I think is kind of cool if it does work that way, because a lot of times you'd have to sit in the harvester or whatever you're doing until it completely unloads. So don't know if that's like an actual feature or something that's changed or not, but anyhow, let's move on from here. It's not a big deal. We got this guy.
Oh, yeah.
We got the nice MacDon.
So this is the MacDon M1240, and this is, you can get it a couple of different ways. It's kind of like the best way to say it is pre-order bonus. If you pre-order the game through some platforms, not all of them remember that, but also the collector's edition as well. You can get it that way, the year one bundle on our eShop as well. So there's a few ways you can get your hands on the MacDon and be able to do swapping at the beginning. I do want to say real quick that swapping will be open to modders in Farming Simulator 25 in the Giants editor. So it probably won't be long before modders start putting some swapping mods onto the mod hub as well using this, and it'll be available to anyone, of course, that downloads it from the mod hub. But if you want to do it at the beginning, you got to get the MacDon. So if you're wanting to do swapping from the get-go in 25, definitely make sure you get a version of the game or pre-order that comes with it.
Awesome. And then one thing I also want to say as well as we're getting here, we are going to show off the tornado because I know people are probably getting antsy about that. That'll be at the very end of the video. And as well, if you want to check out another fantastic video, make sure you guys check out DJ Goham's channel. He's sitting across from me as we're, as we're recording this. So make sure you guys check out his channel as well. And yeah, check out his take on everything and what he's taking a look at as well. But let's keep going. What else we got here? We're over here at the case.
Yep. So this is the Case IH Steiger 715 quad track. This is the North American cover machine, and the Bednar disc harrow as well. And I think if we you can enable GPS if you want, but basically I think what we're wanting to show here, if you kind of go back and look at the ground, like hop out on foot real quick and let's look. So this disc harrow is removing weeds and kind of giving you like thicker clods of soil as well. It has a working width of over 18 meters as well. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, but a nice bit of machinery.
Yeah, textures look nice and clean. Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic.
All right. If you want to move on, yeah, we have the Massey Ferguson 9S 425. If you want to, you can kind of cycle through the different types of crops that you can plant with this machine, and we'll kind of just show a little bit of like what's included. There will be 25 different crops coming in Farm Sim 25, including spinach and rice, which we've shown off so far. So this is a rather big seeder from what I understand. Like, it's not the hugest width, but it has a decent capacity.
Yeah, and it's kind of unique actually how it works. Like with it just kind of sits down in that frame there, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, just go ahead and like switch through some more of the seeds as well.
Yeah.
Or did you already go all the way through?
No, so we had wheat on there. We have barley now. Let me move on to oats. We have canola, sorghum, soybeans, long grain rice, oilseed radish, grass, peas, spinach, and back to wheat. And speaking of peas, I just have to note real quick, there might be something over here. I don't know.
You have played this game entirely too much at the booth already.
I have. I spent, that's potatoes there. Whoops, it's this one over here. These are potatoes though. Those exist in the game still. Potatoes confirmed. But if we move over here, we have some peas growing. And I did a little experiment as well about peas. Once they are fully grown, you do obviously use a regular kind of seeder style planting device to plant them, your standard kind of grain seeder. However, these are not harvested with a grain harvester. They actually kind of start to lay down, it looked like, towards the end of their growth cycle, and it took about, if I remember correctly, about 5 months for them to grow. That's all I really know about them. I don't know how to harvest those or green beans or any other information about those. That's just kind of what I've noticed with playing the game. So just be aware of that, but yeah, okay. This thing works really good, and the other thing I actually want to mention as well that I've kind of noticed with playing with it, and I don't know because we don't have the map or anything, so I can't tell the state of this field. But I want to lower that down. But if I start planting here, like wheat, the seeds are going down. What I've noticed is, at least on these two fields here, the solid fertilizer hasn't gone down at all. And I don't see anything on the upper left-hand corner to deactivate it or not. So what I'm assuming is happening, and I could be completely wrong here, is that it's not putting any fertilizer down because the field's already fertilized enough or there's no more to put down, which is different from 22, because if you had fertilizer loaded in it and you didn't want to fertilize the field, unless you had a special PC-only mod, there was no way to turn that off. It would just throw the fertilizer down and waste it. So as far as I can tell, it keeps you from wasting fertilizer when you don't need it, which is kind of cool. But anyhow, all right, moving on to the next thing here. We got this guy, which if I just right off the bat, I know you're going to talk to me about it anyways, but you can hit X to unfold
I knew what you were going to do.
It goes up. Look at this thing. And it's, you could be.
It feels like a transformer or something.
Yeah. It's very cool. I love this.
So yeah, this is the Cinnaboggan 340G new vehicle, and feel free to very awkwardly try to grab a bale off. Remember, do as we say, not as Farmer Cop does.
Yep. I don't think that the person operating this would have their cab up inside the shed like I did here, but I feel cooler doing it, so I'm going to use it anyways. But here we have an 8,000 liter bale of hay. And over here we see the animals, and there are, my understanding is there's 3 stages, correct?
Yep, so here's some baby animals. People have been asking about that since we unveiled it recently. There's a little calf running around. So yeah, 3 stages. Baby, juvenile, and adult are basically the 3 stages.
Okay.
For the animals. And yeah, here you have baby animals in Farming Simulator 25.
Yep, and then one thing I know we don't have any information about this, and I didn't notice it in the demo version, but loading up the game, there's the little tips that are at the bottom, and one of the tips did say that in order for the animals to reproduce, you needed to feed them, water them, and keep them having a clean stable. So I don't know what that's going to look like, or if that's going to actually be something that's in the final version of the game, but we may be looking at having to actually clean up the animals later on. So I don't know about that, but yeah, anyhow, if we keep going from here, we have this nice little Grimmy planter, which will do sugar beets or canola, because why not? And that's what it does.
Yep, and this is the New Holland T7 230. And we want to show a little bit of the ground deformation. Like, this cultivator will fix the state of the ground again. Maybe there's like a spot that's been kind of deformed somewhere here.
Well, we can do this. And
yeah, there you go.
So this is what's actually happening, and then as I drive over it with the planter, that's fixing it across there. But now if I get back in here, and this, yeah, you can really see the ground deformation. And again, you can feel it. You kind of feel like, even though it's a game, so I know it kind of sounds a little silly to say that you can feel it, but you really can feel the tractor working when there's more ground deformation. You can really feel it working to try to get up to speed and go. Like this, it's trying to do it, but the moment I get like on a path, you can see it accelerates more because there's less ground deformation. It's not sinking in as much, and then the moment I turn into a field here, of course, it's a bad example. I got enough speed there, maybe. Here we go. Let me get some more speed, and then if I turn into a field. I did lose a little speed, but I think maybe if you have enough speed, you're good to go.
I think you're going so fast that it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, but you can definitely feel it.
Across the water.
That's probably exactly what it is.
Yeah, if you want to just go ahead and run over that real quick and take care of it, or do whatever you want. And I have a few things that I want to hit on here too as we start wrapping up. So 400 vehicles and tools in total, more than, and coming in Farm Sim 25 at the beginning of the base game. 25 crops. We already talked about new ones like spinach and rice, new brands, Cinnaboggan, Novag, Merlot, and more. Baby animals, the 3 different stages we already talked about, baby, juvenile, and adult. The 2 new animal types, buffaloes and goats. Weather events with the twisters and hail. Revamped terrain rendering, enhanced dynamic shadows, distance fog, volumetric fog, all of those fancy words. Realistic water simulation, new vehicle paint shader, ground deformation as well. Our featured brands are coming back like Case, IH, Kloss, Doisfar, Fendt, John Deere, Corona, Kubota, Massey Ferguson, New Holland, Valtra, and more. And worker AI is deactivated in this build, so you're not going to be seeing any footage of that.
Right.
But there'll be more to come on that. And we showed already, or we will show here in a minute, the twister as well. So
yeah, we will show that off.
To show that. So yeah, that's it for me. So
okay.
I hand it over to you now. Do your thing.
I don't have much else to show you guys. There's just one other thing, because I've been playing with the build and looking at it in 10-minute increments. All these doors and stuff you can open and shut. I can shut those. There's a lot more access to like the buildings that are on the farm that used to be kind of more inanimate, it looks like. And then if I go up to like the small petrol tank here, which I will be honest, it looks identical to the one we have now, or very similar. It's a little bit different. Looks actually a little bit cleaner, to be honest. It looks like there's a little bit more detail on it. But if I come up here, the menu's different. So there's actually a slider now, which I actually prefer. And if I put like, let's say this thing we know holds 5,000 liters, it's empty. If I put 1,000 liters in there, I can buy that. And if I go back in there, the slider is now scaled to 4,000 liters. So you can, it's from how much is in there now. So which I thought was kind of interesting. So I actually really like that. I think that's a much easier interface for me personally. I think that, especially playing keyboard and mouse, now I don't know how it's going to be for console players. Probably not a whole lot different, but, and we don't see a whole lot of other things, but I did notice there's some nice, really good looking beehives over here. So I'm assuming bees will be back in the game again just because they were there before, but who knows, maybe we'll have something new about them or not. No idea. The wardrobe trigger is locked over here. I know people ask about that, so I can't access the wardrobe trigger. I did try. I definitely tried. But if you go up to the sleep trigger, you can at any point sleep to any part of the day. So it'll fast forward to the next one. So if I wanted to just sleep forward a couple hours, I could do that. If I wanted to sleep until 8:30 tonight, I could do that, which actually, you know what I'm going to do real quick, just because I can, because we're here. We're going to sleep forward to the night. Because the one really cool thing about this game that I think, I know it's been shown off a little bit, but I don't think people really truly realize how cool it is some of the lighting that comes off of the tractor. So I just want to quickly go back over to this guy and just show how that lighting looks on there. And I think this has beacons actually too. I don't know if they'll, I don't know where the home button is on this computer to turn those on, but.
It's function.
Oh, of course it is. There we go. Oh, maybe not. They may not be working.
Yeah, it may be disabled.
They may be disabled, but yeah, you can see the lighting looks absolutely incredible. And then even on the AI traffic, you can see their lighting is all responding to the fog. So that's one last thing. But yeah, okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the twisters. So
oh yeah,
let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right, so here we are with the Tornado. Now, one thing I have to say I have to try is I have to drive into it. Because I know it's not going to do anything, I don't think, but I have to, as people are going to ask, you can drive into it. We are almost in the center of it here. You can see it's quite intense actually, which is pretty cool, and it looks really good. You can get out if you want to and be in the middle of it, and it looks very cool still. But yeah, so that's awesome. That's we're going to jump around a little bit for you guys watching, so I can show you guys a couple different things because we want to show off some of the things that Tornado does. While we're up here real quick, I will note as well, if you can see up in the upper right hand corner, it does say Tornado up there, so you can see the Tornado. And then it also does have us at 1x speed, but if I speed that up a little bit, the Tornado does move faster across the map based on the speed. So we'll take it a long time to get across the map unless you actually speed up time a little bit. But you can see I'll slow us back down there. You can see that it did speed it up a little bit to actually travel a little bit quicker. So there we go. But yeah, let's go ahead and we're going to jump ahead so we can show you some of the stuff the Tornado does. All right, you can see off in the background, off in the distance there, you can see the Tornado's coming towards us here while we're sitting in the spinach harvester. We're going to speed up time a little bit just so it gets a little bit closer to us a little bit quicker. But it's going to work its way across the field. And if we actually hop out, we can go. Again, we can walk around in it. It's not gonna do anything to our character or anything crazy like that. But it will go across and it's gonna start randomly kind of destroying aspects of the crops, which is really cool to see that. If we look behind the Tornado, we see just a wave of destruction. And it's kind of interesting too, because wherever the Tornado's at, the weather's a little bit worse, but if you go away from it, the weather's actually not too bad. But yeah, you can see there is, we have lost a fair amount here on our field, which is craziness. Now, it's not going to damage buildings, or at least it's not going to damage most buildings. We don't know if it'll damage some buildings in the future or not. We're not sure about that, but and also you can see like right here, it did damage that tree as it went past, but we're going to take another look at some of that here in just a second. So we're going to jump ahead to another spot where we're going to meet the Tornado and show you guys a little bit of that as well. All right, as you can see, the Tornado is catching up to us again. We're going to pop out actually here so we can watch it a little bit. I don't know if it went across actually this chunk of the field. It did a little bit. Yeah, you can see here it destroyed a little bit of the crop through here. But here's where we're going to kind of see some of what it does to trees. as it starts to go through the woods here. See it's slowly working its way into the woods, and you can see there it just demolished that tree there, which is wild. So after a few years of tornadoes, you might have to go do some conservation work and get some new trees out, but very cool. Yeah. And now it will also affect bales if they're not under or in a shed or something like that. We don't have a look at that. I wouldn't expect anything too crazy from that. My guess with that would be is the bales are just going to lose some of their volume or all of their volume if they get hit long enough and hard enough. But yeah, you can see it's working its way through. And even the trees that are kind of more unusual or more, I'll say less forestry friendly, it even affects those trees. And gives them this kind of animation here as it goes through. So pretty cool. And again, I know it just snaps to these trees being destroyed. There's not like an animation with it, but if you really think about it, if you're going to play this in at least a somewhat realistic way, you're not going to be chasing the tornado this close. So from a distance, you're going to see them just kind of get destroyed. It'll look pretty clean. But yeah, that is a look at the tornadoes and everything in Farming Standard 25. Kermit, do you have anything else to add here before we hop off? I think that's everything with the tornado.
I think our one thing that we did want to mention to everyone, you already talked about a little bit, it does show in the weather in the HUD in the upper right. It'll also show it in the upcoming forecast, so you can kind of prepare like you would in a normal situation. There's a chance for storms coming your way or whatever.
Sense.
So it will give you time to kind of get your bearings and figure out hey, not a good time to be working on the field at the moment and stuff like that.
Let's get these bales off this field real quick.
yeah. So that's about it really, and yeah, we'll share more about the twister. Don't forget, there's also hail for the weather events and effects as well that can damage your fields.
Now, do we know if the hail will damage the bales or not?
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay.
I think that we'll have more information coming out about that soon. So
perfect. Okay.
That's what it looks like, though, and we're pretty excited to bring this to everybody because I know that people wanted a weather event for a long time. So having these things in the game, I hope will add some fun for the people that like to play with that realism.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Well, thank you guys for coming and watching. If you guys enjoyed, please drop a like down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button up on the screen to join the Farmer Cop channel and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any future videos I may post. This has been Farmer Cop. Thank you guys for coming and watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.